Hello parents, मेरा नाम है मीना, assistant professor English from Government College Chamila, Jalawad. You are welcome in my YouTube channel. Today we will study the second part of the prelude. Now see the text of the third part. You tossed a blanket from the bed. You lay upon your back and waited. You dodged and watched the night revealing the thousand sordid images of which your soul was constituted. They flickered against the ceiling. And when all the world came back and the light crept up between the shutters, and you hear the sparrows in the gutters, you had such a vision in the street as the street hardly understands. Sitting along the verge edge where you curled the papers from your hair or elapsed the yellow rose of heat in the palms of both soiled hands. Now see the explanation of the first lines. You tossed a blanket from the bed, you lay upon your back and waited your doze and watched the night revealing the thousand sordid images of which your soul was constituted. They flickered against the ceiling. The third prelude focuses upon the figure of an unclean woman who awakes and lies still on her back in a mild doze, contemplating her sordid experiences of the night which compose her inner life. They pressed for a moment like lantern slides on the ceiling. And when all the world come back and the light crept up between the shutters, and you hear the sparrows in the gutters, you heard such a vision of the street as the street hardly understands. The shadows vanished as the light crept into the room between the shutters, and the air was regaled by the sound of the sparrows brawling in the gutters. The woman had a strange vision of the street, which the street itself does not understand well. Next lines. Sitting along the verge edge where you curled the papers from your hair or elapsed the yellow soles of feet in the palms of both soiled hands. The woman sits up on the edge of her bed, curls the papers from her hair, and grabs the yellow soles of her feet with the palms of both her dirty hands. Then he begins to think of the trampled street outside and conjures up an street-like vision of it. Now we will study the fourth part. His soul stretched tight across the skies that fade behind a city block or trampled by distant feet at 4 and 5 and 6 o'clock, and short square figures stuffing pipes and evening newspapers and eyes assured to certain the concerns of a blackened street. Impatient to assume the world, I am moved by fancy that the curl around these images and killing the notion of some infinity, gentle, infinity suffering thing. See the explanation of the first lines. His soul stretched tight across the skies that fade behind a city block or trampled by stand feet at 4 and 5 6 o'clock. The light below describes the vision of the woman. The street is like the woman stretched on her back and passively enduring the pressures of men mounted on her. The street is also looking into the sky, bending over her on her. But at night, the street has been trampled by thousands of feet rushing earnestly. Next line. And short square fingers, stuffing pipes, and evening papers and eyes, azure to certainty, the conscience of a blackened street, impatient to assume the world. These men are clutching tobacco pipes and evening newspapers with stock thick fingers, and their eyes are full of certainties and certain matters. In this way, the street, like the woman, faces the day with a blackened conscience and ugly awaits the day's traffic to begin. Next lines. I am moved by fancies that are curled around these images and sealing the notion of some definitely gentle and definitely suffering thing. The poet is moved to see in his imagination the images of infinite suffering, but this suffering is recurring and endless.